everybody, it's AJ and you are with me on the music scene. Today we have Pepper Jane and Bevan Spears, and with me on the set is Pepper Jane now. Pepper, thanks for joining us here on the music scene.
You're welcome. Good to be back in Bundy. I haven't been here as a visitor for, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Yeah?
So, and I've never played a show. So
excellent. Well, we are very pleased to have you here, and we've got you actually coming up with 2 shows on the 8th of September at the Lighthouse Hotel, and then after that an epic day of music on the 10th of September with the Women of Rock event.
Sure is. That's
going to be really great to see you play. I'm personally looking forward to it. So
I'm gonna have to magic up something special for the day.
I'm sure it's going to be amazing. What can our audience expect from a Pepper Jane show?
No expectations. I've found it's best to not have expectations, and then you can't be disappointed. Right. So that's a line of dodgeball, I think.
It is. I think it might be. I think it might be. So tell me a bit about your musical influences and how you got started in this crazy business of music.
Well, when I actually took the leap, it was because I went to my first Woodford Folk Festival just as a punter. I had kind of forgotten for 15 years that I was into music, and after leaving school and going through uni and stuff, in something completely different. And then I went to Woodford as a distraction and was like, oh, that's what I remembered. That's what I'm meant to be doing. And 2 weeks later, I quit all 3 of my jobs, and this is what I've been doing since. Occasionally, I get a little part-time thing for a while and go, oh, hang on, this is not where I'm, no.
Yeah.
No. What a waste of my time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I de-invest from the real goal and the real passion. They feel like the wrong words. They're just, it's a compulsion. So from Woodford, I just realised I had this, urge, just
something you couldn't deny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Jump in.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's what you've been doing ever since, writing your own music, travelling around the world and Australia. Tell us a little bit about some of the festivals that you've played at overseas.
So I played at 2 festivals in Norway. They are just right into their culture in Europe. It's weird for me to consider this is going to get really technical about, because we sort of, white Australia came from Europe. It's like, where did the culture go? Because you go over there and they're still doing it. It's like, did we just get too distracted by the gorgeous weather and the big verandas? Like, except it wasn't like that in the beginning. It was still like Sydney and Hobart. It was cold. It was English weather. Anyway, so I don't know how. Maybe it's just because we were all the convict stock. But then they were still doing music too. Anyway, what was the question again?
How did you go with those festivals?
Egerton Culture Night was one, and then the Visa Festival was another one. So it's Culture Night. Culture Nacht is a bit of a series around Scandinavia where they just have events and stuff. And the other one, the Visa Festival, is actually literally a folk festival. And they tend to, I don't like using the word folk for me, even though I technically am, kind of, because I'm not traditional folk. I'm not, there's like no banjo and twingy twang. Well, there are a couple country songs, but
nothing wrong with that.
That's not folk either. So, but when they say the Visa Festival is contemporary folk, that's what it means.
Yeah.
And so just singer-songwriter stuff. I tend to bump into Darren Hanlon in weird corners of the world. Cunnamulla, Daly Waters, and Egerton.
Is
Norway.
that right?
Yeah. So he's also the vibe, and these other cool little indie folky bands from America, and
That's excellent. I was reading in your bio and it made me, it put a smile on my face that you describe yourself as a truth-telling tumbleweed.
I have been told to take the tumbleweed out of my bio because my mentor goes, yeah, well, tumbleweeds turn up in empty towns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I get the reference of sort of rolling through this world and, you know, singing your songs and sharing those songs and your stories with everyone. Tell us a bit about do you have a songwriting sort of process, or do you just sort of have to stop when you're on the side of the road and go, oh, that's a really great idea.
Sometimes, but I usually keep driving and just go over and over and over. But I set myself a challenge this weekend because I had a gig in Byfield, so I drove inland 10 hours. Should have only taken 8, but I don't know what happens with this. There's a time warp somewhere in the tropics, I think. Challenged myself to write an album this weekend. It's kind of 4 days, though, with all the driving. Because driving and washing up is kind of just frees up the space to get the song juices going.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But specifically this weekend, I wanted to write about truth, because that's my thing.
That's where the good stuff is.
Oh, I think so. I'm just really demoralised. Getting to know that this weird fabric that so many people don't tell the truth.
Yeah,
it
happens. It's
confronting.
people, isn't it?
So anyway, I'm going to put that in a song. So it's just wherever the source of the angst, pain. I would say joy if I remembered what that feeling was like.
No.
I think I can remember. I get it like if we have a really good croissant.
Maybe with chocolate in it.
Pretty fair call, yes.
So you released your debut single, Keys, in September of 2018.
That was a long time ago.
It does, yeah. Well, it wasn't really that long ago. What's it like to hold on to a song and then finally let it out into the world and share that little piece of yourself?
That's a great question. I suppose it's liberating. Going to some songwriting little groups, I tend to try to stress to people if they're putting in words that are difficult to say or difficult to understand off the cuff, like words that you're not expecting to hear in everyday language, let alone in a song. And my point is, well, you want people to be able to easily understand it. Like if you're speaking, don't you want to be received? Or you just want to talk and just have it go through the air to nobody. So that's the same thing with a song. It's like, well, here is a thing that I've communicated that I guess I want people to receive. Otherwise, why are we communicating it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, why does art exist if no one's going to ever see it? Sometimes it can be therapy for the artist, but often it's going to be useful for somebody else
for sure.
to experience. So liberating feels like a cheesy way of putting it. Maybe joy. Maybe that's what it is.
I think it could be. I think there might be a little bit there.
So, wow. Joy since 2018. No wonder I write so many sad songs.
I'm sure that there's a whole album full of joy. I'm sure that there is. Tell us a little bit about Keys. What is that song about?
Right. So I left a mate's place one night. In the middle of the night, everyone else was asleep, and I switched off the light, picked up my guitar, and the last thing I did was pick my keys up off the counter, and in the darkness and the silence it made this chilling, crunchy, obnoxious noise. And it's just about that sound. But it's about what it means, because for dogs it means, hey, we're going on an adventure. Somewhere. And for some people it's like, oh, you're going somewhere. And other times it's like, I'm going somewhere. It's a threat. So
interesting. Will you play that song for us now?
Yes.
We would love that.
It will be a joy. Don't pick up your keys. It makes the sound that you're about to leave. It's been days since I've been home. One of us has been there, but we've both been alone. It's such a final noise, like the dice have finished rolling. Objection lost its voice, and the cards are done with folding. But you're still here, don't touch them. leave them where I left them the last time that I left them. Please don't pick up your keys. No, please don't pick up your keys. Well, don't look at me now. My pride, I don't think she'd stand it. I'd open up my arms, but I'd still be empty-handed. But you're still here. Don't touch them, don't dangle them around. Just leave them where I left them the last time that I left them. Please don't pick up your keys. No, please don't pick up your keys. Don't pick up. Don't pick up. Don't pick up. It makes the sound that you're about to. 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 That's not how it goes.
That was Keys by Pepper Jane. Pepper, that was such a beautiful song. I think that does actually bring a lot of joy. Tell us what's happening in the future for Pepper. There's some whispers of a new release, a new double album.
Oh, well, the double album's quite a stale project. I don't really know. I get too excited about writing new stuff and I don't go back and finish the old stuff.
It's shiny objects.
Yeah. But also like, oh, new topics, new feelings. But it's cool to revisit old songs. It's like, oh, now I can reshape them a little bit and they sound a bit more. They can still sound like me now. I mean, psychosomatically, not even musically. So I did a blues EP last year that I need to finish putting out. It kind of just needs mixing. That was a challenge I set to just write and record a blues album in 2 weeks, and all we got is a 6-track EP. And in quite a miraculous kind of 2.5 hours in the studio. I wrote it before that, but I didn't touch a guitar during most of that time because I didn't trust myself to not make it turn into what I usually sound like, and I was just specifically trying to write a blues thing. Right. But what that did, it meant that the guitarist who I enlisted to help put it to music, then it just became their stamp all over it. So in retrospect, it was kind of a mistake. I ought to have kind of trusted myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a pepper-flavoured blues because I'm trying to write blues, therefore it ought to be. Instead, it was someone else's flavour.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, and then I didn't feel connected to those songs, which is the other reason why I'm not going to play that one today. It's hard vocally. There's this one, yeah, it came up here to be lonely, because I quite enjoyed the COVID-imposed isolation thing. It's like, yes.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't bad for everybody. So a rejigging of songs and hopefully some new releases soon.
Yeah, I have to do those things. I have to put the things out. It's my little statement of expression.
Yeah.
And, I gate crashed someone else's gig. I didn't trash it. Gate crashed it. Gate trashed would be a new terminology.
Yeah, we should coin that.
That's like, if I ever start doing stuff like Amel and the Sniffers, maybe I could call my album that. Gate trashed.
Write that down.
Ooh, I don't have to now. It's etched into the ITV archives. And I forget what I was saying.
with your new music coming up?
Oh yeah, I just have to do it.
Just
I have to
do it.
make that expression. It's a continued conversation, and also I want to tour Europe next year, so
Yeah,
I have to say something. I have to give
that'd be exciting.
them something to chew on.
Exactly.
With their ears.
Will you give us something else to chew on with our ears right now?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of ears, okay, I've got this one that I wrote about 10 years ago when I realised I was falling in love with my guitarist. As you can see, I had to learn to play guitar for myself. Think I just realized what my eyes are for. Staring across at you, perfectly formed. Don't look away, you're this moment might fade. I want to remember when my eyes are formed. Think I just realized what my ears are for. Hearing your melodies perfectly formed. Don't stop playing or this feeling might fade. I want to remember when my ears are formed. I think I just understood what my lips are for. To tell you I'll wait for you and that I adore what I saw when I realize what my eyes are for. I just realized what my heart is for. It used to beat quietly, now it's a deafening roar. Don't run away, you're this moment, and this feeling might fade. I want to remember what my heart is for.
That's very beautiful. Thank you very much. That's a very cool song. I love that.
It's all the body parts I was going to put in there.
Where can our viewers find out more about Pepper Jane, where you're playing next, when your songs are out, all of that sort of stuff? Where do we have to go?
All the places. I'm like John Mayer. There we go. I got to mention him. Yes. Tick. An Instagram native. So at Pepper Jane HQ. Same with Facebook at Pepper Jane HQ, Twitter Pepper Jane Music, and Triple J on Earth. But there's like some from the Vault songs on there.
Excellent.
There's one about a galah. Technically, it's about a dead galah, but
I'm going to go.
Just have to let people know that before in case they are afraid of hearing about dead things.
You got me curious now. It'll be happening to hit the Google search on that one.
The last song. It's also SoundCloud. There's really weird stuff on SoundCloud, like ideas I record beside the road for little song challenges and things like that. But the more up to date things, Instagram's my favourite.
All the socials, all the things. Fantastic. Well, it's been a real pleasure having you on the show today, Pepper.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much for coming.
And for this set.
Yeah.
How cool.
Fabulous. I'm glad you were able to make it. Don't forget Pepper Jane at the Lighthouse Hotel on the 8th of September, and then following that on the 10th of September at the Metro Hotel for 11 hours of music, live music with all amazing female artists from around the Bundy region. You might even see me there at some point in the afternoon, so please make sure you make it, all in aid of Angels here in Bundaberg, doing some great work for for the community, and we will all look forward to seeing you back in Bundy again really soon.
G'day, I'm Phoebe J, and you're watching The Music Scene on Wide Bay ITV.
Hello everyone, welcome back to The Music Scene. We have Bevan Spears with us here today. Bevan, thank you so much for joining me here on The Music Scene.
Thanks AJ, it's great to be here.
It's awesome. I first saw you, I can't even remember where now, but I was struck by your blues and roots influences. Tell us a little bit about your music and where that all began.
Yeah, I guess I've always liked the bluesy sort of thing, you know, I love bluesy sort of music, but my family was pretty musical and my father used to play. And so I've got these early memories of these magic moments, and, you know, family and parties or whatever, and Dad's playing and stuff. And he passed away when I was 7 years old, but my brothers and my sister even plays a little bit. And yeah, it's just always been a special thing to play, and it's the fun part of life, isn't it? You know, the parties and the jamming and stuff like that. So, yeah.
It is, it is. And you are originally from New Zealand, so I can imagine, I know my brother was actually born in New Zealand, and so we've got quite a few New Zealand ties, and there's always a guitar around somewhere. You know, a family get-together always ends up in some kind of a musical sing-song of some description. Is that
yeah,
what
I think
grew up with?
Yeah, I did sort of grow up with a lot of that going on, and in different ways, you know, the acoustic guitars and getting there, sing-alongs happening. And I was probably lucky enough that when I was, even in my sort of early teens, we had a few musos that used to call in our house and set up their amps, and, you know, like there was some people that were sort of touring around a little bit, and then they'd call in and stay at our house for a little while. We lived on a farm, and so you could turn the amps up, and yeah. And by the time I was a teenager, I was just crazy about electric guitars with the sexiest things in the world, you know.
Well, it gets all the girls, doesn't it, the lead guitarist?
Well, that was the plan.
That was the plan. So are you a self-taught guitarist, or you've done the lessons? How does that work?
Oh, a bit of both. Like, I grew up learning the chords and things from brothers and friends, and then I took some music lessons early on, but I never really, I didn't have that academic sort of frame of mind, and I didn't like sitting in class. It felt like I was learning maths or something, but I was good. I'm glad I did those lessons. They gave you a bit of a foundation. But then mostly from then on, it's more about I just got interested in something, and if there's something I wanted to learn, well, I'd find out how that worked, and, you know, so it was more of a self-taught style. Really.
Yeah, perfect. Now you really love your live gigging. That's where your passion lies, playing your live music, your own music, your cover music, and you you play all over the Wide Bay, which is really fantastic for us and our audiences. What is it about sharing your music in that live setting that's so attractive?
I like the variety of different different styles of music. I mean, I just love the fact that you can do it, and I can live from making money from playing gigs, you know, and most of that is in the cover world. But to be able to play and you meet people, it's an incredible way to meet people. You go to some town you've never been before, and by the end of the first set, you've got like 10 new friends that will kind of, you know, it introduces you into that community, and I've kind of taken this diverse, I love rock music and I love bluesy music, but I'll do like a solo kind of restaurant thing where you're just mellow and you're playing something that's got to be mellow and calm, and or, you know, then I've got different bands and different things, so I like that variety and just keeping it interesting. I don't want to just do the same thing all the time.
Now you mentioned your band. You play with the Purple Hills around town. What is it about that sort of band connection that you love?
Yeah, it's great working with other people, and especially around here, the musos I work with they're inspiring people. You learn from all of them. They all have, you know, a lot of talent, and there's a lot of different people with different approaches. With the Purple Hills, well, not just that, I've got the Purple Hills, also got the Wild Source, which is another band I play with. We more do cover gigs with that band, but just different approaches and using different drummers. Like a lot of the time, the main thing is using drummers for me. Like I've got, there's Dane Costigan, Aidan Marcon, and David Lai, and they're all so different. So when you're doing these gigs, it affects the way I play. You know, like they have different styles and they're really good in their own ways. And over the years, I've gotten used to their styles. So if I think of a certain kind of gig, I think, that one would suit Aidan. You know, I'll bring Aidan in because that really will fit how I'd like to play at that gig.
Yeah.
And you know, Dane's like a animal rock drummer kind of guy. Like if you want to blow the roof off the place, we'll bring Dane in, and you know, so there's all these different,
Yeah, and I think we're very, very lucky in Bundy and the Wide Bay. We do have this amazing sort of breadth of talent and musicians that you can be collaborative with lots of different people on many different projects.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, because I've been in this area for quite a while now, and over the years I've met so many great musos, and you know, so having these different projects. So you've got to be careful that I don't overdo it, because you don't want to be, you want them to be good projects. You want to sort of try and play well, and sometimes I can get excited about a project and work with a certain muso and think, oh, I need to nail that down before we go any further, or you know, but it's
it's one of those things.
Not overdo it.
It's easy to get distracted.
Yeah,
for sure. Now you play a lot of slide guitar in your gigs, and often you get asked a lot of questions about that process and you know and how you play. So I'm hoping you might give us a little bit of a rundown on how that all works.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yep. So please stick around. After the break, we're going to have Bevan play some slide guitar and teach us all about the nuances of playing slide.
All right. So just to explain, like what I'm doing with the slide guitars. The thing about slide guitars is they you have. Well, you can have different kinds of tunings, but open tunings are most common, where you just play a chord. So no hands, there's a chord. And then different ways of playing. I sometimes play a little bit with this kind of slide, where you got a ring. And then there's the other way, where you play it on the lap, and you use a different slide. And I'll give you a little demo of how I do that. But, so this way. And then the other way, drop that down. The thing about, guess what I like about doing it, holding it in my hand and doing it on my lap like this, is you can sort of you can pinpoint the notes, so a little easier, I find. Get in there and just sort of pick that single note. Yeah,
doing that, Bevan. That's really interesting. I don't know. I mean, I'm a 3-chord guitar player, and I don't even play those really well. So it's always fantastic when I can see something like that. It's amazing. Thank you. So tell me a little bit about what you've got coming up into the future, where you're playing next, and where we can find out more information.
Yeah, I mean, my memory is my diary, so I book these gigs and then I sort of like looking, oh my God, that's where I am this week or next week. Or off the top of my head, I can't think of one particular thing. I'd probably just check the gig guides and stuff. I keep playing a sort of a rotation around the Wide Bay area, and then every now and then I'll head out, you know, a bit further away. So it's really about just watching the gig guides, I suppose. And my memory's not too good of the exact dates of where I'm playing and what I'm doing. And,
that's okay. And but it's all going to be on your socials. Is that correct?
Yeah. Facebook. There's just my Bevan Spears Facebook page, and also there's the Purple Hills Bevan Spears Facebook page, and I've got a website. But yeah, so the Purple Hills Band website. If you look there, you might see a little bit.
All of those links will be popped onto the show, so we can make sure people can find out where you're going to be next and hear some of the great music that you play. Now you're going to play another track for us now. What? And we're going to get the electric guitar out and see what's happening there. What song are you going to play for us?
Well, the first song, I'll do another slide guitar song, which will it's called House on the Hill. Yeah, an older song. Sort of, it's a song I wrote about I lived in a house in the country with a band many years ago, and they were, you know, good times. So I wrote a song about that. And then the other song's called Flow, which is just a song about life, I guess. And then I'll do that on electric guitar. Normally I'm using drummers with these songs, so, you know, we'll see what happens, see how they come out, and just have fun with it.
I'm sure it will be wonderful. Coming up next, Bevan Spears with some more live music.
On the hill, time and place served us well. Man, thump like a hurricane. Jenny runs through my window pane. Pain down here. This is a song I normally do with the drummer. I have never not done it with the drummer. We'll see how we go. Just imagine there's a drummer. Next thing you get to see, lock it in the top of your conscious imagery, and ripping favors from the unknown. Taste the good oil from the underflow, yeah, yeah, yeah. Help me come and shed my skin now. Whoa, 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 new land happened from a shifting within, yeah. Oh, fire, bringing me the endings I need, love. Whoa, 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 big sky lifting me like feathers I saw on through. Next thing you get to see, lock it in the top of your conscious imagery, yeah. You're ripping favors from the unknown. Taste the good from the underflow, yeah. Yeah. Help me come and shed my skin now. Whoa, 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 new lands happen from a shifting within, yeah. Oh, fire, bringing me the endings I need, love. Whoa, 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 big sky lifting me like feathers I saw.
Pepper and Bevan, thank you so much for joining me here on the music scene today. It's been a real pleasure to have you both on the show. We will definitely look forward to more music coming out from yourself, Pepper, soon, and more live shows for yourself, Bevan. Don't forget, head to all those social pages for the next gigs coming up for both Pepper Jane and Bevan, and we will look forward to seeing you back here on the music scene next time.